June 2026. A prosecutor stands at a podium in Pennsylvania and says 9 words that end 3 years of silence. She did not act alone. The woman he's talking about is Michelle Zajko. The charge, murdering her own parents. This is the Dark Archive. Rewind with me to New Year's Eve, 2022, the night this story actually began. Years earlier, in the Bay Area, a small offshoot of the rationalist community had formed around a woman who called herself Ziz, real name Jack LaSota. Ziz's followers believed in strict veganism, radical logic, and a philosophy that most of the world was making catastrophic moral errors. By 2019, some members were already being arrested during a protest inside their own community. Then in November 2022, in Vallejo, California, a landlord tried to evict a group of Zizians living in vans on his property. The eviction turned violent. One Zizian, Emma Borhanian, was shot and killed. 2 others, Alexander Leatham and Tessa Burns, were charged in connection with her death. It was the group's first body. It would not be the last. 6 weeks after Emma Borhanian's death, 3,000 miles away, Rita and Richard Zajko were spending New Year's Eve at home in Chester Heights, Pennsylvania. Rita was known for her garden. Richard had spent his life building a stable home for his daughter, Michelle. That night, a neighbor's doorbell camera recorded a car pulling up outside. A voice shouted, "Mom." Another voice cried, "Oh my God. Oh, God, God." Then silence. Rita and Richard Zajko were found shot to death inside their own house, in what had once been their daughter's childhood playroom, surrounded by her old dolls. Police questioned Michelle Zajko days later. She was released without charges. For nearly 3 years, the case went cold. While that case sat frozen, the Zizians weren't finished, because 2 years later, the group's violence would cross into a federal case no one saw coming. January 2025. A rural highway near the Vermont-Canada border. A traffic stop turns into a shootout. U.S. Border Patrol agent David Mayland is killed. So is the Zizian driving the car. Weeks later, police in Maryland arrest 3 more members of the group, including Ziz LaSota herself, along with Daniel Blank and Michelle Zajko. Around the same time, back in California, the same landlord from the 2022 Vallejo standoff is attacked again. This time, he doesn't survive. In less than 3 years, the Zizians have been linked to deaths in 3 states, and their leader was finally behind bars. Here's the detail few people cover. While Michelle Zajko sat in a Maryland jail on unrelated charges, investigators quietly spent months rebuilding her cell phone data from 2022, location pings, call logs, timestamps, piecing together where she actually was on the night her parents died. In June 2026, prosecutors charged her with murder, burglary, and conspiracy. Michelle Zajko denies it. In court filings, she has suggested her own father may have killed her mother, then himself. But prosecutors say the doorbell audio, the ballistics, and the phone data all point the same direction, and that whoever pulled the trigger, Michelle Zajko, was inside that house, and she arranged what happened to her parents. Which brings us back to that podium in June 2026, the moment we started with. She did not act alone, the prosecutor said. Michelle Zajko is now facing charges in Pennsylvania on top of the ones she already faced in Maryland. Ziz LaSota and other members still await trial, delayed again and again over questions of competency. 5 people dead. 3 states. 1 doorbell camera that caught a voice, but never a face, and a case that took 3 years to even name a suspect. If this one got under your skin, subscribe, because next week, we're opening a case file even fewer people know about. See you in the archive.